What was your idea when you decided to occupy this pavilion?
My first trip to Venice was just last fall when I learned that I may be doing the pavilion. And I'd been in the space and I'd seen the 4 rooms and the way it was laid out. And I then went to the Accademia and there's a Homonis Bosch painting that has 4 panels that's the visions of the hereafter. And I sort of it made sense. So
Why is it important for you, this Bosch?
Because it, to me, tells sort of the story I've been trying to tell in a way with my work outside of this exhibition as well. And because of these isolated spaces, and it's almost like panels, these rooms and how they connect, made sense. And most of the work in this exhibition was borrowed and spans 15 or 20 years. And so I wanted to create a narrative that I could, with loans from collectors and from work from my past, but there are about 10 new pieces as well.
So
it was a short time. I only had about 3 or 4 months to make
very short. So what was the influence of the Bosch painting?
Well, initially I have a piece later in the exhibition that's a portal. This painting by Bosch very famously has a tunnel of light going into the transcendence, into the afterlife, or whatever that is. And that is one of the rooms, is quite heavy-handedly that, because I have a piece I'd made 15 years ago that's a white portal that's meant to be a transition point. And I was influenced by the kind of chaos in our world, in those we have outside. I had made these pieces I originally was influenced by snorkeling and seeing little sea life that were like worms and mollusks and things that were stuck next to each other for their whole existence. They don't have a choice of who their neighbor is, but they're still, I don't know if they love or they hate, or they're doing all the little battles with each other. And these pieces were originally influenced by that, as little instinctual warriors in a way. And I wanted to bring a bit of that current state of the world, that chaos that we're all I feel like we're experiencing.
But you decided not to give your idea about the pavilion early on, right?
Well, I had almost no time. It was very short, and so I made the narrative of the exhibition from borrowing and figuring out pieces from the last 15 or 20 years of my work. And choosing and picking and putting together.
Yes, but the narrative, you made it and you didn't tell what you wanted to do.
No one asked and I didn't tell. No.
You were not asked?
No one actually. I've had total freedom from the commissioning body and the American government and whoever. No one has asked me what my show meant. No one has told me to make a show and anything. So I've had freedom. So that's a misconception. That there has been a little bit, is that there is no prescript. I was not told. But
probably you were chosen because you are not political.
Well, everyone's a little political. This is meant to be in a mushroom cloud.
Yes.
But it's not necessarily political, and it's made of Persian travertine. And maybe it's a bit of fear of things that we are all engaging in. A world in which we have too much conflict, and pointless conflict a little bit. This is a portrait I made of my daughter as she was with me in a museum trying to look into a case. And I kind of see her as a witness to all of the things that we're doing and are happening here. Because she wanted, when she was making this posture, she was trying so hard to see into this little case. So I thought she could come, and that's why she was engaging with the outside world. And I made a sheep that's directionless and sort of headless, and that's a black sheep, as I've been an outsider, I'm self-taught, and I've existed in maybe tolerated, but barely in the art world as an outsider.
So it keeps on like that in a way?
Sure it is. It's continuing to today and always. It's like my way of being, as I've not necessarily by choice, and now by choice in that I I live in Mexico. I've grown used to being an outsider, a foreigner.
But you decided also to be officially a black sheep. Your galleries, when you decide to take the pavilion, two of your galleries decided to stop with you.
Because they were afraid of backlash.
And so the backlash are here, right?
Well, it's been hard, but I have had weird luck. My life has been, whenever I have good luck, it's combined with bad luck. Like I will break my leg and then meet someone that I love. Like I have like a problem. It's like I almost need to be forced. Like the nature of my existence has to be forced to change.
Forever?
But forever.
It could change, no?
Being a self-taught person, and especially in the art world, I can't go through the gates. No gatekeeper is going to let me through because I didn't go to college. Most of the institutional shows that I've done have been in Europe and Mexico and they haven't been in the United States. And so for me to, cross that river, I can't go on a bridge. I have to skip over stones and find a way through. And it's often been as an outsider that I'm able to do that. If in a way not able to easily, but kind of through the sideways door or through blowing in over the wall in a windstorm or something.
But what does today's Black Sheep think about all the polemics going on about his participation, about discussion and nothing about
I feel like it's mostly about themselves. Because most of the people don't know me or my work very well. They have their own perceptions in their own life, and it's about their own interaction with the world and how they respond. And I feel that happens with my work too. I like to leave meaning quite open, and I don't title my works, and I feel like the moment of creation hopefully exists when the viewer sees it for the first time or the second or the 100th time and they're a changed person from the time they saw it before and they see it a little bit differently. I really try to stay away from a prescription where somebody needs to understand what is that man what does he mean?
What does it mean?
But because the person making the work could be me at 7 years old. It's a memory of not what's here physically now necessarily. And in the very best work, I hope that I'm transmuting for something totally outside of myself.
And so you think, what will be the next step now for you in your work?
Well, I'm going to go sailing.
Ah, really?
Well, after I have one more show, and then I'm going to spend about 6 or 8 months sailing out from Mexico through the Caribbean, around the
Wow, that's cool.
To the Mediterranean. That's my next adventure.
And you are not afraid to have the Trump tag on your work?
I have nothing to do with it. That's their own perception of it. I don't feel that I represent. I was asked to do an exhibition. No one has told me what to make or what it represents, and I feel like it's an amazing. It's like, okay, I have a space, and I can do an exhibition, and a lot of people will see it, and it's exciting. And it's like, no one has told me to make work that represents anything in particular. So I've done it as what I felt.
But probably you were chosen because you are not obviously linked to any political discourse.
No, I don't even think it's legal for foreigners in Mexico to be in political discourse. Where I live and I don't think they allow it. I think it's like you can't, unless you're a citizen, engage in politics. So, not that I'm not interested in it. The last time I haven't lived in the United States for quite a while, and I did campaign for Obama back in, all those years ago when I lived in the United States. I knocked on doors, but I don't engage as a person who doesn't live in the United States. But I did have my childhood there.
Where were you as a child?
In Utah. Mostly, and then I was like a homeless kind of drifter, and it took a few years. I lived in New York and Los Angeles and the cities, but I've been gone for 11 or 12 years now in Mexico, which is lovely. And I'm an outsider there, which I've grown to appreciate and love, because I feel like being an outsider kind of forces you to be polite because it's never your home. You're always a guest, and it's a great position in a way to be in, to learn that lesson.
Merci, monsieur.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.